You are going to earn more money this year than your parents did at your age, and you are still going to end up broke. Not because you're lazy, not because you're stupid, but because nobody, not your school, not your parents, not your college, ever sat you down and told you the sequence. The order in which you do things with money matters more than how much money you make. I know a guy, engineer, Bangalore, was pulling 80,000 rupees a month at 25. By 27, he had 12,000 in his savings account. He wasn't spending on parties. He wasn't buying watches. He was just doing things in the wrong order. That guy was me. Today, I want to give you the exact 7-step sequence I wish someone had handed me at 22. Not theory, no textbook. Let's go. Step 1. Build your floor before you build your ceiling. Here's what most 22-year-olds do with their first salary. They open Zerodha. They buy a mutual fund. They feel amazing about themselves. Then their bike breaks down, or their mom gets sick, or their laptop dies, and they break the mutual fund. All of it. Back to zero. This is the emergency fund trap, and almost every young Indian falls into it. Your first job before investing a single rupee is to save 3 months of your expenses.
Not your salary, your expenses. If you spend 25,000 rupees a month on rent, food, transport, everything, you need 75,000 rupees sitting in a savings account, doing nothing, just sitting there. I know what you're thinking, but that money isn't growing, yaar. Correct. It's not supposed to grow. It's supposed to protect everything else that will. A seatbelt doesn't take you anywhere. But without it, you're not going anywhere good either. Do you have 3 months of expenses saved right now? Be honest with yourself. Step 2. Buy protection before you buy returns. This one is uncomfortable, so I'm going to see it plainly. If you are 23, earning, and your parents depend on your income, and you die tomorrow, what happens to them? I'm not being dramatic. I'm being real. Most young Indians have zero life insurance. Or they have an endowment plan their uncle sold them that gives 4% returns and is basically useless. That's not insurance. That's a bad investment pretending to be protection. Here's what you actually need. A term insurance plan. Pure insurance. No investment, no returns, no gimmicks. A 1 crore term plan for a healthy 25-year-old costs about 700 to 900 rupees a month. That's it. 2 Swiggy orders. That's the cost of protecting your family from financial ruin. Also health insurance. Not your company's, your own. Because the day you switch jobs or get laid off, that company cover disappears. And hospital bills don't care about your employment status.
Get a personal health cover of at least 5 lakhs rupees. It costs 4 to 6,000 rupees a year, less than a weekend trip to Goa. Step 2 is done when you have both. Not before. Step 3, kill your expensive debt. All of it. Let me ask you something. If someone offered you a guaranteed 36% annual return on your money, would you take it? Of course you would. Everyone would. Now flip it. If you have a credit card balance you're rolling over every month, you are paying 36 to 42% per year. That is the most expensive loan in the universe. And millions of young Indians are carrying it right now, paying only the minimum due, watching the number never go down. Paying off your credit card is the best investment you will ever make. Full stop. After credit cards, personal loans, BNPL debt, anything above 12-15% interest. Pay it off aggressively. Don't invest while you're bleeding from high interest debt. It makes no mathematical sense. One exception, your home loan. That's 8 to 9%, and there are tax benefits. You can invest alongside that. But credit cards? No. They die first. Step 4. Use the government's free money before it expires. Most young Indians do their taxes in March, in a panic, while eating Maggie at 11 p.m. And they miss thousands, sometimes lakhs, of legal, government-approved tax savings every single year. Let me make this very simple. Under Section 80C, You can save tax on up to 1.5 lakhs of investment per year. That means if you're in the 20% tax bracket and you fully use ADC, you save 30,000 in tax every year. That's a free 30,000 the government is trying to give you. The best way to use ADC? ELSS mutual funds. 3-year lock-in, market-linked returns, and full tax benefit. Not LIC, not your uncle's endowment plan. ELSS. Also, Section 80D, health insurance premiums. 25,000 rupees deduction for your own policy. More if your parents are senior citizens. Step 4 is simple. Before investing for wealth, invest for tax efficiency. One comes before the other. Step 5, now finally invest for your future self. Everything before this was defense. This is offense. You've built your emergency fund, you're insured, your expensive debt is dead. You're saving on taxes. Now you invest. And here's the most important truth about investing that nobody tells you at 22. The amount you invest matters less than how early you start. Let me show you what I mean. Aisha starts investing 5,000 rupees a month at age 22. She invests for 10 years. Then she stops. Never invests again. Rohan starts investing 5,000 a month at age 32. He invests for 30 years, nonstop. At 60, Aisha has more money, even though she invested for only 10 years, even though Rohan invested for 30.
That's compounding. That's the magic. And the only way to access it is to start. Today. Not when you get a raise, not when the market dips. Today. Start an SIP. 2,000, 5,000 rupees, whatever you can. Into a simple index fund. Nifty 50. Total market. Don't overthink the fund. Overthinking costs you years. Years cost you lakhs. Are you starting today? Or are you waiting for the perfect moment that will never come? Step 6. Guard your income raise like your life depends on it. You get a 30% raise. Congratulations. And then almost immediately, your rent goes up. Your phone gets upgraded. You start Ubering instead of taking the metro. You're eating out more. Your weekends cost more. 6 months later, you feel exactly as broke as before. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent killer of wealth in your 20s. Here's the rule I follow. It's called the 50% rule of raises. Every time your income increases, save or invest at least 50% of that increase. Spend the other 50% however you want. You earned it. If your salary goes from 50,000 to 65,000 rupees, that's 15,000 rupees extra. 7,500 goes into your investments. 7,500 rupees is yours. Guilt-free. Enjoy it. This one rule will make you richer than 90% of your peers over a decade, because your peers will spend the full raise every time and wonder where their money went. Step 7. Change who you are, not just what you do. This is the step nobody talks about because it sounds soft, but it's the most important one.
Every financial behavior you have right now, the impulse buys, the avoiding your bank balance, the I'll start saving next month, comes from an identity. You see yourself as someone who is bad with money. And as long as that identity stays, all the SIPs and term plans and emergency funds will eventually fall apart because behavior follows identity, not the other way around. The shift is this. Start calling yourself an investor, out loud, to yourself. I am someone who invests every month. Not I am trying to invest. Not I want to be good with money. Present tense. Ownership. When I started saying I am someone who tracks every rupee I spend, I started tracking every rupee I spent. The identity came first. The action followed. This sounds like psychology. It is psychology, and money is 80% psychology. Let me say something you probably haven't said out loud yet. You know all of this already. Not the exact details, but the direction. You know you should be saving. You know you should have insurance. You know you're spending too much on things that don't matter.
You know. The problem isn't information. The problem is that starting feels like admitting you've been wrong, that you've wasted time, that you should have done this 2 years ago. And that feeling, that shame, keeps you stuck. So here's the truth. Every rupee you invest starting today is worth more than a rupee you never invest.
You haven't missed the boat. You've just been standing at the dock. Get on. I said one thing, so here it is. Tonight, not tomorrow, not after the weekend, open your banking app. Check your savings account balance right now. Calculate your monthly expenses. Multiply by 3. If that number is sitting safe in your account, great. Move to step 2. If it's not there, that is your only job for the next few months. Build the floor. Everything else can wait. One step. That's it. The sequence starts there. Money isn't everything, but without it, you don't get to live life on your own terms. You deserve to know how this game works. Nobody taught us, but we can learn. If this felt like a conversation you needed to have, hit subscribe. No drama, no pressure. Just if this was useful, there's more where that came from. And drop in the comments, which step are you on right now? 1 through 7. I read every single one. Take care of yourself.